and avoid the shadow. Huh. Yeah, it ain't too bad. I don't know. It ain't too good either. Probably be better if it was facing that way a little bit. Let's see. How's that? Color-wise, it ain't too bad. Okay. All right. That'll be that. Just air muffin. Let's remind these people why they should get out of bed earlier. Hope everybody's having a good morning. I'll just get started. See who we got here real quick. Hey, Michael. Baby kisses, Billy Shoemate. Good morning, guys. Glad to see y'all in there. All right, we're gonna make it better. top of the head kind of dug out of here. I got to pull some of this back, some of that back, but you know, it's just the way it goes. Hope everybody's doing pretty good. Y'all be sure to smash that like button. We'll keep right on and going. Heck yeah. Let's see. Billy, baby kisses, Michael S. Path. Good morning. Glad to see you. Really can't plunge with that one. Let me get this other one. I can do it with that 20-incher. It's just the type of chain, these safety links, anti-kickback, and that one don't have that. A heck of a lot bigger saw, isn't it? All right. Every job has a perfect tool. Okay. Go back to this guy. Actually, I'd rather get a carbon bar for a little while on the head. So, go to this guy first. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing pretty good. Hit that like button. We'll keep right on her rocking. coming out all right. Hope everybody's doing pretty good. Be sure and hit that like button as fast as you can. And we'll keep right on and cutting this dude, blocking him out. You can see his head pretty good. And I'm gonna kind of dig him out. I'm trying to go for a little more realistic head. And I got another one over here I did after the live stream yesterday. It's kind of the same thing. And just really cut the snout down, and we'll see. Anyway, whatever. this down in a little more like realistic and less cartoony snout. But I'm doing it too slow. I need to go faster. Maybe take a little more aggressive. I mean, I know he looks cool like that, but yeah, just trying to take it down more and round it out. But I mean, it's cute. It is cute. So I don't know why I worry about it so much. I mean, let's get y'all a little closer. There we go. But roundness of his head and stuff like that, I'm pretty happy with that. It's going pretty good. Let's read a few comments. Hey, Billy. Hey, Laura Keller. What's going on? Glad to see you. All right. Big old fat cute head. I'll probably just live with it. All right, heck yeah. Okay, so I can dig down. Now that I got the head basically roughed in, I guess I need to trim this back a little bit more because I had where I went in too deep with this one and I just tried to work it out until I hit it. And it sets back a little further. You can't notice it that much, but you can notice it. So dig a sign out. I got one here. So I got this one. This is for the other bear I got over there yesterday. Of course, I still got to cut it, but let's see how that fits in there. So it looks like it'll go. Oh yeah, plenty of room. Should be no problem at all. Okay. Heck yeah. I'll dig the arms out a little bit. And I think I'm gonna do them different with this one. I'm gonna bring the arms down and like have the paws in here, like he's holding here, the sign there and there, instead of kind of more in the middle like I would usually do it. That's all right. Let's grab another one. When we run out of fuel, that's when we'll fuel. I swear I just heard that fire. Maybe not. And I might have flooded it too, because I thought that I pulled the switch up whenever I thought it fired the first time, but it didn't. I know I won't fight them because all you do is get hot. Hey, there we go. Tell you what, I think the chain on that one's getting pretty dull. well, I got it out. I think I'll just use it to cut my grooves down in through here and make it happen. Well, I'll tell you, that one saw, and I just turned it wrong. That's all it is. But man, that made me hot just messing with that. It's already pretty warm, but there is a pretty nice north breeze out here, so it's not like horribly bad at the same time. Hey, Shoops, what's going on? Hey guys, don't forget to hit the like, and we'll keep right on going. There is from time to time, there's a nice north, and then the sun's getting covered up by like these rolling clouds. It's not bad. It's hot, but it's not bad. That's getting a little ridiculous. Oh well. But anyway, I got sides cut off so I can work the legs down and all that good stuff. Well, it's not looking too bad, you know, having a good time. How long have we been on here? 34 minutes. Man, it sure seemed like it's been longer than that. Does that mean I'm working too hard? I don't know. Hey, Gray Wolf, appreciate that, man. Heck yeah. All right, I'll keep going. And like I said, if you're watching, you haven't hit the like button already, hit the like button. calling Keller. Come on. these things go. Gotta have a little bit, right? I'll see what you guys got. Heck yeah. Oh, hey, Deland, what's going on? Hey, Ray, what do you know? Glad to see you guys in there. I just having a little fun making this, making little welcome bearers, or, well, they're not little welcome bearers, but making bearers. How about that? Cute little guys. We sell them. That's the thing. I mean, we went to that show last week with 3, and they ended up with 4. I may have to make another one, and they just sell too easy. You know, it's hard to keep them. So, got to do something about it. Make some more. Heck yeah, I'm trying to read that. Hey, Tim, what's going on? Glad to see you in there, bud. All right. Okay, I'll keep right on going. I think he's looking all right. God, big old cute fat bear. guy around and finish his back. He's got a hairy, barky back. I'll tell you, we got to fix that. We're gonna take him and get him manicured. All right, where's my there it is. I'll go with the 16. So I'm more trying to round it off than anything. And then in the case of the legs, I got to dig the tail out with carving bar, but if I can peel that off of my screws. If I can, it'll save me a little bit of work. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Man, it's pretty warm out here. It's cold though. It's the weirdest thing. I'm hot and I'm cold. all right holding the sign, I think. I didn't give him a mouth. How about that? We got to fix that real quick. Okay. Make him big old smiling bear. Alright, there he is. Heck yeah. Man, I'm hot and I'm cold. So the wind, I got a north wind blowing. It's pretty cool. At the same time, it's still pretty warm out here. Alright, I'm gonna set him over here. I'm debating on whether to do something else or not. I don't know. Yesterday, after a live stream, I made this cute little, kind of more realistic bear and kind of realistic pose and stuff. Here, I'll show you. Bring him up there. But I made that right after the live, and I'm like, well, why didn't I just stay on there and keep going? Yeah, I made this little guy. He's a pretty cute little dude. You know, of course, it's kind of rough because it's sitting down here in the bottom and not using the torch or electric tools yet, you know. And bottom line is, I just want to have a big pile of stuff sitting out here to finish, because we got that. Because we got to have multiple. Actually, we have two shows, and we might even jump into one for early October. So I got to make stuff no matter what. So I think we'll walk over here to the pile. Here, I'll take y'all with me. We'll kind of look. Let's see. See what we got over here. We got big stuff, which I'm going to have to stand some pieces up and make a big bear. But that said, I'm supposed to go get a log today, and I may make a new big bear out of that log. So I don't know. I'm not getting too big a hurry. But we're getting into this stuff pretty good. In fact, I can't believe I've already halfway went through the skinny logs that came in. I think I might take a piece, and I could always make I need to make another, actually I need to make 2 more Highland cows in the barrel, and another bear in the barrel. I got one already done, and then I got the one I made yesterday. So it's kind of debating on what to do here. And then you got to watch these, because they got poison ivy vines on them. And, you know, people say, well, the leaves ain't there, but the oil is. So, and that's what you got to watch out for. So, I don't know. I'll flip this off here and dig some of this out. Kick this out of the way. And see. That's nice. I think I might peel that out of there. And either another little bear in the tub or... yeah, something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Let me go put this back over here. And, yeah. So that's what we got since yesterday when we live streamed now. We got the 4 pieces sitting out here. Let me go over there and cut a piece. And I'm sure I'll have to stop a lot more, like to get fuel and stuff like that. And actually, it'd be nice to get this kind of turned down a little more. I wonder if I put some pieces of bark under the tires and get more of a down angle. There we go. How's that look? You can see what I'm doing a little better. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Yeah, take that big one. I'll cut it out with the big one. What do I do with my headphones? I already can't hear her, so gotta have some help. All right, there's that. Now, something I don't like about it, and I'll show you, and I think I'll just cut this piece off. And this is just something I'm learning, and can't hurt to share. So this was 2 knots here. One was at the beginning of a branch coming off of this, and typically this tends to be really, really hard, and also this will crack way worse because it's like that. So, and basically what I'm making either a bear or a cow in a barrel. I just zip this side off and do away with this altogether. And here's the branch that came out of it. That was what came out of it. So I'm gonna be better off just to cut as much of that away as I can. I'll have to keep some of it where it has the turn, but it just is what it is. When you carve wet wood, you're gonna run into this. All right, so, okay. Shut up and work, fat guy. Okay, all right, sorry. Many apologies. Okay, all right. I'm not messing around, I'm using that big saw. I think the 16 is getting pretty dull. And actually, I need to sharpen all of them. I don't think it's necessary. I could probably pull it out. Yep. Then we'll get too carried away with it. All right, so that's in the end, that's all I got left. And that'll be it dug down. That'll be, you know, their little legs come through there anyway. So it's not like it's gonna last. So actually, that's more chunk than I really want too. So I might cut that down just a little bit more. I mean, that's pretty big for any of it. I can probably take another inch off of it. I'm gonna do it. I gotta kick this big piece out of the way so I don't trip over it. That wouldn't be any good with it. I might just zip this off now. Take that so I don't get messed up by it later. Might be a good idea to just take that off now. too. That bark's feeling pretty easy. So I might as well, I mean, you got to deal with it now or deal with it later, so why not just deal with it now? And this stuff's getting wet enough that a lot of it had them little white grubby looking worms in it though. It just seems like you can't hardly get away from them guys when it comes to pine. But I've had them in poplar and ash. I don't know what that little white worm is, but they're in everything. Yeah, that ought to be good. I don't get too carried away with that. The only debate I got then is bear or cow, and I think I'm gonna go cow. Man, coffee. Make myself hot and make myself cold, right? I think I'm gonna go cow. Where did I lose my headphones? Put them back over here. Yep. Hit them behind the little saw. Just enough. They're hitting just enough. Let's see what we got here. Appreciate y'all being in there. Be sure to hit that like button. Hey, Ray, we'll see you. Heck yeah. Okay. I don't know how much fuel this thing's got, but I'm just going to go to it running. That bar's got a burr in it, and it don't want to cut. The burr's slowing the bar. That's when you bar the heat. You know, you can hold out so much down, but those carbon bars is real common for developing burrs. And what happens is the burr gets wider than the chain, and the bar don't want to go through, and that's what's going on with it. It needs taken off and redressed. It's a pretty common problem. I'm not going to sit there and fight it, you know what I mean? saw. Get a little one. Well, it's not a big saw, but you know what I mean. Hey, what do you know? I'll talk to you, but I'm live streaming.
Yeah?
All right, that means I get to take a drink of my coffee, right? Okay, I'm gonna use this little handheld or a little top saw to finish like the hair and stuff and start to dig into the hands. I won't be with it very long, but at the same time, it's the only thing that's got fuel in it. Let's stop put fuel in everything else. So. All right, I do like this little thing. That's the cow. I mean, and you could get away with, that's cute if you painted it white and black, even if you didn't do it in Highland cow. No matter how you do it, it's cute. But I'll probably do it Highland cow because we know they sell. If it's in here, it's not gonna matter because that's gonna be covered with foam. But we're gonna shape the front feet. He's gonna have his feet, his front hooves or his back hooves are sticking out of the water too. It just makes him look cool, pretty cool. But we gotta dig around the arms and then we'll hair this guy and then start working on the tub. But this thing's doing all right for this. Well, the cow itself, he's done. I mean, he's a pretty cute little guy. And I mean, it's crazy to put him in such a little package too. That's what I think is really funny about it. I'm gonna go ahead and do the top of my band, and then I'm gonna start working that bottom down, because that bottom's gotta come down quite a bit. But I think I'm gonna try it like this time. Sometimes I do it the one way, sometimes I do it the other, and it'll help me also even this out a little bit. So I'm surprised this stall's lasted this long without running out of fuel. I think I probably want a bigger saw to finish that, because some of it crops out and kicks out and whatever. But it's kind of cute little guy, you know. I mean, he's super cute actually. Can't complain about him a bit. Just need some horns, you know. And I think with these smaller ones, I had an 1 1/4 inch, or no, 1 1/8 inch And that's just a little big for these. I don't know. I just know they're super cute. I made 2 of them last weekend. I didn't come home with any of them. So that tells me right there what I need to be doing. All right, I'm going to go to this guy. Oh, he's going to need some fuel, I'd say. Yeah, he's still got a little bit of him. I don't know if it'd be enough, though. And I'd rather know. Well, I got a heck of a mess out here to clean up, too. We might have to have a bonfire tonight. Now that wind's coming out of the west, but it still feels good. Pretty good stuff. I'll have to take, when I get done, take all the tools up to the shanty, put them away, and come back down here to the side-by-side and just fill all this. Because I got a wheelbarrow that I keep up to the shanty that I use it, and I fill it full of wood. And take the pieces back to, I got this big 47-inch thing I made you can grill steaks on it and everything. I mean, I really made it kind of cool. But anyway, I'll just have to fill this up. That's already full, so I'll have to fill that up and take it over there and throw it in there. And actually, it's getting about the point where I need to burn. Okay, we can use that. There you go. It's the kind of way it is. If you're going to do this, you're going to have the scrap wood, sawdust. Sawdust is good for me because it works out good because I can take it and dump it along the edges of these fields, and 6 months later, wherever I dumped it along the road, you can't even tell it was ever there. The bugs just eat it up. I mean, it is what it is. Hey, MG. Hey, Perry. Well, hey, Raja Bende Gohana. What's going on? Glad to see y'all in there. Heck yeah. All right, we'll keep going and clean up the bottom. And I'm going to do it pretty tight. I'm going to have to do it pretty tight because, like, there's a lump here and just some stuff to work with. Nobody's going to care about that, though. I won't have any problem selling these. the slats where the wood, the wood pieces come together, kind of make it look like that. I just got to do that, and that one will be done. I'm gonna put more fuel in this John cutter and use it. I don't think I ever actually ran out, but here's somebody mowing. Something. I don't see them. I'm looking through this messed up plastic glass on the back of this side-by-side. Oh, but anyway, that's cute. Now here was just something like that knot that I was trying to avoid. I couldn't help it with the hooves. But what I'll do, in like the case of this piece here, where it chipped off, is I'll just put some of that foam up in there. At least that'll be the plan. Okay. Headphones again. I left them over here? Yeah. Over here? I gotta make some welcome signs. All right. Chunks out here can't hardly work. Constantly wanting to trip on something. Well, that's life. All right, let's check out what we got out here and then how long we've been on here. An hour and 9 minutes. That's not too bad. Let's see. So that's that guy here. Let me turn him in the sun. And that'll be the second one I made that the hooves were sticking out like that. I just think those are super cute. I'm going to try to have like 3 of these. Hey, thanks, Billy. I'm going to try to have like 3 of these for that next show we got. It's just super cute. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, I could see like the ear there. I like how I have a little bit more separation here and there, but in the end, I'm telling you, somebody will buy it. It don't matter. These things are just insanely cute. By the time you burn them and color them and put the foam in them, they're really, really cool. Thanks, baby kisses. Heck yeah. And then I'll show you guys, this is the bear we made yesterday. He's in one, and that's a little welcome bearer, kind of fat, mean welcome bearer. And it's kind of a little bit more realistic bear cub. And then here's the one we made today. Him and him, they're pretty similar. And I call them cat bears, but people like the cat bears. It's something unique. I don't know. Cat bear. I guess you could call it whatever you wanted, right? But I really like this guy. He's my favorite one of the group, hands down. He's super cute. I really like these. But that's what I got. I thought about going up there and doing that welcome bearer or welcome sign. Go back up there in the shanty and do that. We could. I mean, I don't know why we couldn't. Here, I'll shove this stuff. That big saw can stay down here. I'll have to take all this out anyway. And I got this welcome sign that needs done in here. And I brought it down here. I don't know why. I mean, other than maybe to test fit, because without the drill and stuff, it's not like I can do anything, you know. Yeah, I thought I heard somebody mowing up there, but I don't see anybody. But yeah, we'll just get in this thing. We'll go up there and do that sign. I don't know. I ain't doing nothing else, so that is what it is. Did I close the tailgate? No. I guess it means I better be a decent driver, right? Don't want to lose my stuff or tear it up dropping out. Coffee. Gotta have that. I got that cup from Cap's Peace. Ain't that awesome of her? Heck yeah. We just drive right on up here to the shanty and hopefully nothing bounces out. Hey, you must have had a good party last night. I don't know. Okay. Don't want to hit Haley's car. She'll be mad. You're touring my car. Yeah, the car I bought you. Of course, Dad would say that. Yeah, the car I bought you. Yeah. She'd say, oh, yeah, it sounds like you. This sounds like something you'd say. Yep, you're right. Yep. I don't beat around the bush. Yeah. So, of course, my cradle's down there, so I don't want to do that. Here. Maybe I can set that thing up there like that. Boy, it's nice in here now. I don't like starting in here. You know, I used to do Sunday mornings a lot, but when we got warm, the sun was beating in here so bad between 8 and 10:30. I just couldn't hardly stand it. And I said, the heck with that, I'm going to go to Sunday nights. And now the sun, the position of it, you know, it's just, everything changes the way it is. I could get away with being out here on Sunday morning again. Though I don't know. I know Lori likes it. If she's not up as late as I've been doing these late live streams. But I do like the late. I like the late. Man, where'd all that oil come from? It's like I left the cap off of something or something. I don't know. I do like the late live stream. It's a lot cooler, and it also seems like you get a lot more views on the later live streams. I just think, well, that shouldn't matter, but it does. You know what I mean? I got a dish here. I got a box of screws inside this tub, but since I came home, I had that fishing trip the other day, and other than that, I've been in a panic build mode, just trying to mentally think I'm getting ahead. Hey, it looks like I took a lot out of here, so where did I put the screws? They're around here somewhere. I don't know. I gotta have screws in order to bolt that thing down. I guess I could probably lag it though, actually. Yeah, we can do that. That's how we did. That's how we did them at the thing on Friday, because I didn't have no screws. Because I just used the lags. I got one in here. I gotta watch the washers on this thing because I hit it with my chain on one of these saws. And some nasty steel splinters ready to take your finger away. Yeah. I think I can make this work. We'll find out. Because I need to do it. And actually, I need to draw out another one and do it. I got 2 down there so far. And that's the other thing. Boss lady said, man, you ought to have like 6 or 7 welcome bearers table. But I'm not thinking on having too many big ones. Last year I had one big one, and that thing lasted forever. It took forever to sell that thing. But it wasn't as cute as these other ones. These are... So I don't know about big ones, but little ones, I do agree with little ones. We ought to have a bunch of little ones. Okay, that ain't going nowhere. That's close enough, but I know it ain't going nowhere. Yeah, that'd be about right. That's not too bad. Even with the light in here, though, doesn't it seem kind of dim? It does to me. It still seems awful far away. I could zoom in. Okay, there we go. All right. Hey, I can burn that too. I'm up here with the torch. it takes almost as long to draw that, which is simple drawing. But that's it. I still think it takes almost as long to draw that as it does carve it. Man, my hands are getting some pretty good blisters. I probably wear gloves just because the bottom two under knuckles or whatever you call them on the palm of your hand. I don't know what you call them. And at least I can admit it, right? Both hands, you know, they get pretty rough. Now, I don't have any black, but I do have brown that's espresso, and that'll work too. Oh, I do have a little black. I don't know if it's enough. If it is enough, we'll try it. Let's just go. Oh, there we go. I might, between these two empty cans. You like that sound? Ah, Mogacha! Okay, all right. That's crazy, isn't it? Might actually get it. All right, getting done. Getting done. All right, whatever. All right, number 2. See if she has enough. I gotta go to the brown. All right. I don't know if anybody noticed. As long as I don't over brown it. Find out. Where to put the brown? I hit it. Okay, here we go. And there's not a lot in it either. I use this for like eagles and stuff, but I used it the other day on one of my bearers at that event we did. Nah, it's gonna have to be all brown. It's too big a difference. Not that would look bright necessarily. We're gonna find out. It would give it a little different color than the bearer. The bearer's gonna be black, so by the time I sand that out, that brown might look pretty good. We're gonna find out. We gotta give that a minute. And I still have not finished this or fixed this tool yet. So the pad's still pretty good. I'm just gonna take it off and set it to the side because I got a brand new one in the box there. Never been opened. It's actually supposed to be a little different. We'll find out. I might hate it. But let's figure that paint only takes a few minutes, but while that's drying, I might as well take this one off. And I wonder why I plugged it in. I just noticed that it's plugged in. It shouldn't be plugged in. I'm messing with it. Yeah, that's not very safe. Probably should check, shouldn't I? I'm gonna blame y'all, okay? Oh yeah, here we go again. Content creator, acting like everybody else is the problem. Oh, that's great. Oh, this has been taped open, so watch me open this up and it'll be like, so this is brand new in the box, you know? Watch me open this up and it'll be like a torque wrench or something. We'll see. No, that's right. Okay. So, do you read the instructions? Of course, that's a guard. Nobody needs that. I didn't hit the trash can, man. That's close. It's by the trash can. Instructions. Ain't nobody needs instructions. Yeah, that's a little different one. I kind of like that. I don't know if it's a lock on or not, but with the position of the trigger, even if it wasn't a lock on, I think it'd be all right. Man, I'm not trying to open a sandwich baggie. Come on. Even tight it good. Yep. They'll watch me plug it in and it don't work. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you never know, right? Come back here. Oh. All right. Time to plug that in and unwind this. Man, that cord is long. I don't like that. And it's heavier than that other one. Which that's the issue with that one. I've had to fix the cord on it 3 times, and it's never quit working. Just the cord quit. The cord developed a bad spot on it, so the cord's cheaper than the rest of the tool, I guess. I don't know. But I'll fix it, but I don't know if it'll be till it starts getting cold again. I mean, you know, they got a lot of stuff going on, so it just kind of is what it is. Did I bring the mask? I can't remember if I had my mask in or not, if I took it down there or not. There we go. You go. Change the position. There we go. That was a flight. There we go. I think that'll make it. I don't know. Okay. I got this one. I think I took my other one down there, which I didn't even use it. If that makes any sense. And up here I got checked for brown recluses because they're everywhere. They seem to be everywhere up here this year, especially in the shanty and on our front porch deck. They seem to be around it quite a bit. Yeah. All right, I'd say that's it's not tacky enough. I can do. I didn't close this box. I'm filling it for it too. All right. Let's see what we got. This is brand new. Oh. I think that looks good. Not too good, not too bad. Somewhere in the middle. And I do need another one, but I think I'm going to save that. I might come back and live stream this evening too. I haven't made up my mind yet. Here, I'll turn it on there and kind of get an idea. Man, I'm fogging up, ain't I? Kind of get an idea how that looks. It looks pretty good. That's just a knot in the wood. There's nothing I can do about that. I could keep digging and digging and never get it. But here's what I did. Just a couple lags, just enough to hold it in place. And you guys seen when I was installing it, it just stayed right there. It wasn't an issue. It stayed pretty good. Oh, well, guys, that's what I got for this morning. Like I said, I do think I'll probably come back this afternoon. I just got to keep making stuff. And actually, I got to try to contact the guy this morning yet. Let's see what time it is. I don't know if I have time. I might. About getting another log, a big log, and staying in it. I'm wanting to do another big barrier replace the one I just sold. So it is what it is. I got to see if I can get that log and go from there. But I got other stuff to do. I need to do a thing for Novus Big. And if you don't know what that is, stay tuned. It's pretty neat. They make these little helping hands clamp things. It's made primarily for electronic technicians. But we're going to see if we can come up with a way to use that for carving. We'll see. I don't know. Hey, Heidi, how's it going? Glad to see you. Heck yeah. All right, glad to see you guys in there. All right, guys, well, I'm going to hit it. And we'll try to catch y'all back this evening. Hey, Raja. All right, we'll leave you guys alone. Come back when you can stay later, you schmucks.